Now, local authorities will soon be releasing a new set of social distancing guidelines taking effect from next week. The popular opinion seems to be that they will be more or less the same as the current measures we are under now. However, there will be a few vaccine incentives sprinkled in.
For more on this and other COVID-19 related updates, joining us live in the studio is Shin Ye-eun. Good morning, Ye-eun.
Good morning, Morgan.
And we are expecting authorities to reveal these new social distancing measures. It's kind of under wraps for now, but tell us what we know as of this point.
Right, so what we know as of now is that these are probably going to be the last distancing measures before we head into the new COVID-19 exit strategy in November. Next month, the Living with COVID-19 system will kick off, where authorities focus on the number of deaths and patients in critical condition rather than the number of daily cases. So Friday's guidelines will work as a bridge for the country to smoothly transition to this new system. Most watchers expect the current four-tier distancing scheme to remain, meaning the Greater Seoul area will continue under the toughest level, level 4, and non-capital regions under level 3. While the distancing scheme may stay the same, vaccine incentives might be introduced. As of now, those who have been fully vaccinated, meaning at least 2 weeks have passed since their second jabs, or a single-dose Janssen vaccine, were able to enjoy some of these incentives in social gatherings. In the Greater Seoul area, only 2 people were allowed to meet after 6 p.m., but this number could jump to 6 as long as 4 are fully vaccinated. From next week, this cap could go up to 8 if vaccine incentives are added. Authorities have also hinted at extending business hours at movie theaters or study cafes from the 10 p.m. limit to midnight, and we'll have to see whether authorities will apply them for 2 weeks or maybe even 3 weeks before the set date to transition to the Living with COVID-19 system on November 9th.
Now, Ye-eun, before moving on, tell us more about the new COVID-19 exit strategy for November.
Right, so based on what the Committee for Living with COVID-19 Strategy said on Wednesday, distancing measures will be eased based on vaccination rates. On Thursday, a health official backed up this idea. He said if South Korea were to pass the 85% vaccination mark, quarantine measures like wearing masks wouldn't even be needed to fight off, per se, the highly contagious Delta variant.
Once we finish inoculating 85% of the population, our herd immunity threshold would reach 80%. Theoretically, we would then be able to contain the Delta variant without masks, bans on gatherings, or restrictions on business hours.
So South Korea is showing rapid progress in terms of vaccination rates. It's on the brink of reaching its 70% goal in around 10 days. Authorities say thanks to high vaccination rates, the number of daily infections will steadily go down.
And we are already beginning to see that because we estimate that Friday's daily COVID-19 tally in South Korea will in fact be lower than yesterday's.
That's right, Mark. From midnight to 9 p.m. on Thursday, we've actually seen 1,512 infections so far. That's 320 fewer than the same period the previous day.
Hopefully, we'll see new infections stay low over the weekend. But meanwhile, South Korea is not the only country showing progress. The United States is also showing some advancement dealing with COVID-19. Tell us more on that.
Right, so the United States has been trying to enforce vaccine mandates for federal workers and big companies. And President Biden said Thursday that his plan has been working because the COVID-19 case rates have since been declining in 39 states. Here's what he said.
It's working. We're making progress. Nationally, daily cases are down 47%. Case rates are declining in 39 states. And hospital rates are declining in 38 states. We're down to 66 million, still unacceptably high number of unvaccinated people from almost 100 million in July.
The president's comments came a day after the country's top infectious disease expert, Anthony Fauci, said vaccinations will further contain the virus, especially since experts found there won't be a more dangerous or contagious variant than Delta. The United States crossed another major milestone on Thursday when a panel from the FDA voted to recommend Moderna booster shots for emergency use authorization. The panel, called the Vaccine and Related Biological Products Advisory Committee, unanimously voted in favor of authorizing the shots, and the final decision is, of course, in the hands of the FDA. If they approve it, the final ruling will be made by the CDC, which is scheduled to meet next week.
Now, thank you so much for your reports this week. You did a great job, Ye-eun.
Thank you so much.